Hello my dear students, welcome to the learning of lesson 7 review Python. My dear students, this chapter is all about a high level computer programming language whose name is Python. My dear students, as you know well that we use a computer programming language to create programs. Let us first discuss what is a program. To understand what is a program, you imagine that you want to prepare a dish, but you don't know how to prepare it. So what will you do to prepare that particular dish? You will find a recipe for it. Now recipe is what? Recipe is step by step instruction to create that particular dish. In those steps, the previous steps, the basic steps are related to the ingredients, that take half spoon sugar, then half bowl water, like that. All these are ingredients, these are the inputs. After then, in the recipe there are steps to cook your dish, that is the processing. Means when you provide the input, then you let the input values to be processed. In the same way, when you arrange the ingredients of a recipe, after the arranging, you put it onto the flame for cooking. So arranging the ingredients, putting it into the vessel is input. After then putting the ingredients, items all together onto the gas stove is processing, and when the processing completes, we get the output, we get the complete cooked dish. So a program is step by step set of instructions which instructs the computer what to do, how to do the things. A program is written to make a computer to do some task for us. This Python programming language is a very powerful language. In this, we are going to learn how can we write the input statements, how can we write the processing statements, and how can we write the output statements. In this language, we are going to understand that how we can create a program based on mathematical calculations or logical calculations. Dear students, there are many computer languages in the world. C, C++, Java, .NET, all these names are very known to you. This year we are going to understand a computer language, Python. Likewise, in the previous year we have learned about QBasic. So let us understand about Python. Let us first learn the features of Python language. My dear students, a Python language is a simple and interactive language. It means the codes which you will use to prepare programs in this language are very easy to learn and understand in comparison of other languages. Platform independent. It's very unique feature of Python that the program created in Python can be executed on any platform, for example Windows, Android, BlackBerry, Linux, etc. Means a specific platform is not required to run the Python programs. You can run it on any machine. The next feature of Python is case sensitive. It means that there are two cases of a letter, capital letters and small letters. We understand both the cases in same way. For example, capital A, we read it as A, small a, again we read it as A. But in computer, in Python language, capital A and small a both are two different things. This is called case sensitive. In Python, we can create classes and further we can create objects for the requirement of the program. We will understand it later on. What are objects? A Python is an interpreted language, which means that it goes through an interpreter. In Python, we can create variables without any declaration. In comparison to other languages, if you go through other languages, you will find that when we need to create a variable, those variables required a specific declaration syntax. But in Python, we do not require any declaration statement for creating the variables. What are variables? We will understand it later on. All these features make Python a popular language. It was created by Guido van Rossum at CWI, Centrum Wiskunde and Informatica, in the year 1991. You will amazed to listen that the YouTube in which you are getting your tutorial videos is also created using the Python language. The Google browser, the Instagram, all these are created in the Python language only. So by this you can imagine how powerful this language is. So without wasting time, let us install Python in the computer. For installing the Python in the computer system, you can refer to this website www.python.org/download. It is a very light file, very small file, hardly about 24-25 MB. So when you will click on download, it will start automatically downloading the Python files. When the download completes, you will get up a setup file. You have to run the setup. When the setup completes, you will have the Python IDLE commands in your program menu. When you will click on to open the Python IDLE, you will get this Python shell, where you will have this 3 greater than symbols, which is known as Python prompt. In front of this prompt, if we will write some command, it will show the output here only in the Python shell. So Python prompt is the place where we can write an instruction or a command and can get the output instantly. Now before working in Python, let us know the different modes of Python. Dear students, there are two different modes of Python. One is interactive mode and one is known as script mode. Interactive mode, which you are looking in the window, this is the interactive mode only. Interactive mode is that mode where we write the instructions one by one in front of the Python prompt and it returns the output there only. So for checking any code instantly, we can use the interactive mode. Also, the interactive mode can be used as a calculator. You can see user has written some mathematical expressions 11 plus 22, and then when the user has pressed enter key, the output is shown there only instantly. So if you require to do some calculation, frequent calculation, so you can use this Python IDLE window for getting your results. Let me show you how to work in the Python IDLE. So for that, let us first open the Python IDLE, go to all programs. You will get this command option IDLE Python 3.732 like that. IDLE stands for Integrated Development and Learning Environment. Click here. It will take few time to open. Now you can see the Python shell or the Python ideally is opened now. This is the Python prompt. We can write small mathematical instructions to get the instant result. As I am typing 10 plus 20, enter. You can see the 30 is printed onto the same window. Now let us understand about the print function. The print function is used for the output of the statements or the values. We can use it like writing print in small, then we'll open a brace, parenthesis, and anything which you like to print, then close the parenthesis and press enter. You can see the values which are given under the brackets into the double quotation or single quotation also, that is printed as it is into the ideally. Let us come to the chapter back. The print function can be used in the interactive mode as well as in the script mode. It is used to display defined messages on the screen. As you have seen, I have printed a message hello onto the screen. Use the print function, we can also show the results of an expression once it is processed. So let me show you how you can yes, just now I have executed an expression 10 plus 20. One more I am doing for you, 20 into 5, enter. So you can see the output is onto the screen, 100. So this is how you can type on any specific message to print, or you can type on any mathematical instruction to get the required result instantly. Back to the chapter. We can use many separators with print function to format the displayed result. These includes the comma separator to print the next value after a space, the /n new line to print the new value in the next line, /t to print the next value after a tab space. So let me show you all. First of all, understand all these things with the help of this example. Print 10, 20. So you can see a comma is placed here as a separator, so both the values are printed with a gap of one space. Now in the next instruction, print 10, /t under the single quotation, then again 20. My dear students, for every next argument, these are the arguments 10, 20, /t. All these are different arguments. In between every argument, you have to place a comma to separate them. So comma is placing the role of a separator here. So 10, /t, 20, it means it will print 10 and 20 with a big space, you can say tab space. In the next example, print 10, /n, 20. Now you can see the output 10 and 20 are on different lines. It is the effect of /n. Let us see all those things in the interactive mode. You can see two different messages I have given, hello and India, separated with a comma. So both the messages are printed with a single gap. Now I am using the next example, print hello, /t, India. So hello and India, in between /t is there. Let's see what will happen. You can see hello and India is printed now, but with a bigger space between them. This is the effect of /t specifier. One more example. /n Can see now, because slash n was used in the instruction, so hello and India are printed on the separate lines. Hello is printed on the same line, and India, which is followed by slash n, is printed on the next line. Means what? Whatever elements, arguments you will give after slash n, all those will be printed onto the next line. So in this way you can use the print function. Just back to the chapter. Script mode. In the interactive mode, Python displays the result of expressions. In the script mode, however, Python does not automatically display results. We use an interactive mode when we write small programs because the output in the interactive mode is compressed between the statements and is not suitable for writing lengthy programs. So, to write lengthy programs, we use the script mode, in which we can create and edit the programs. The files created in the script mode can be saved for later use. Yes, students, the interactive mode is used for getting result of any one instruction. But if you want to write whole program, a lengthy program somewhere, and want to execute it, so you have to write that program into the script mode of Python. To open the script mode, what you have to do? You have to click on the file menu, then choose the new option. A new file opens. Write your program and save your file by selecting file and then save option. The files in Python are saved with the extension .py. Once your file is saved, you can open the same file by selecting the file arrow open option and execute the file using F5 key, or click on run or run module option. Let me show you all these things, how you can open the script mode. So first of all, go to file, select the option new option from there. Now this is the script mode. Here you have to write the program. After writing the program, as I have written one program, I am opening it for you. To open any program, click on file and then select the command open, and yes, here is the program. So you can see one program I have written in the script mode, that is finding the area of a rectangle. So after writing the program, click on the file menu, choose the save option, because already the program is saved, so it will not ask for the name. When you will click it on save as option, it will present you the save as dialog box. There you have to write the name and then put a dot and write py. Py is the extension of the Python files. So this is must to write. After writing the file name, select to save the location of the file and then click on the save button. To run the program, you have to click on the run menu and then select the run module option, or you can also press the shortcut key F5 to run the program. As I am running the program, you can see this program is basically taking input of two values, that is the length and breadth value. After then it will multiply those two values, finding the area, and at last it will print the area with the message area. So let us run the program. You can see the program is running here. The first statement is executing, asking for the length of the rectangle. So I am giving 5, press enter. Now give the width of the rectangle 6, press enter. You can see after the processing, this is the processing statement and this is the output statement. Processing statement processed and output statement has printed the output onto the output window. So in this way you can use the script mode of Python. Now for making the programs, first of all we should have the proper concept of the variables. What are the variables? So very simple, the variable is a location where value. For example, you can see a is equals to 10 written. It means a is a variable here who is going to hold a value 10 inside it. In the same way, b is a variable which is going to hold the value 20 inside it. So a variable is a small location into the computer's memory where we can store a value for further calculation in the program. But we should know the naming rules of the variables, because we cannot give any name to the variable. There are some certain rules to put the variable names. Let us read those names once. A variable name must start with an alphabet, capital or small, it does not matter, or an underscore. Means a variable name, whatever the name of the variable you are keeping, that name should be start with a letter, alphabet, or an underscore symbol. A variable name can consist of alphabets, digits, and underscore. Means in the variable name you can use these three things, either a letter, alphabet, or a number, that is 1 2 3 4, and an underscore symbol. No other character is allowed. Means dot, hash, dollar, greater than, question mark, all these, any other character other than underscore is not allowed in the variable names. A Python keyword cannot be used as a variable name. Keyword is what? Keyword is the predefined word given by the language. There are many words you will use which are already created and given to you for the programming. Likewise, this print is a keyword. So you cannot keep a variable name like print. Okay, understood? So all those words which are predefined in the Python's library, you cannot use those words to keep your variable names. Space is not allowed in a variable name. Yes, so you cannot use any space in the variable name. Now some more points to remember. A variable name can be of any length. Means you can write a variable name, it can hold a number of characters. It does not matter, 20 letters, 30 letters, 50 letters, it can be of any length. Variable names are case sensitive. Example, roll num and roll num are different variables. Yes. Likewise, here you can see, here R is capital, here R is small. So both these are different things. Why? Because Python is a case sensitive language. So it treats small r and capital R in different ways. So you must remember it. Let's see the example of some invalid variable names. Book name, space is given here, so it is not allowed. Invalid name. 90 price. So here the variable name is started with a number, a digit, so it is invalid. Book dot price, here dot is used in the variable name, which is not allowed, so it is invalid. Book @author, again @ is an invalid character in the variable name, so it is not allowed. Min is a keyword in Python, so we cannot take it as a variable name. So all these instructions we must follow before we work on the variables. Data types. Data types in Python. Data types are what? Data types represents the different types of data we are using for the programming. The data could be a number, the data could be a string means group of characters, the data could be a decimal number, likewise 423.0. The data could be a boolean value. Boolean means a value which resides in the form of true, false, yes, no, likewise that. So there are various kinds of data on which we can make a program. So for that we should know about different data types in Python. So the basic data types in Python are discussed in the chapter. The basic data types are int, float, and string. The int data type is used for when you are working on the numbers. The numbers could be positive or negative. When you are using a int data type, integer means when you are going to work on a number type of values, then you can store them into plain integers, long integers, or bool. What are plain integers? Plain integers means A data type which gives you a range of values. Likewise, you can see a range here. It means plain integer will enable you to store a value which is in between this range. From this up to this, in between any of the value you can put into the variable if the variable is of plain integer type. All the data types are required to create a variable, to convert a value into another type. So plain integers supports this range of values. If you want to store a value which is beyond it, means which is not in this range, it is beyond the range, so for that you can use the long integers. And the time when you want to store a very small integer values like 1 and 0 into a variable, so you can use bool in that situation. So there are three types in the integer category: plain integers, long integers and bool. Plain integers for this set of values, long integers for beyond these values, means greater than these values, smaller than this value. Bool is for very small values, 1 byte value, that is 1 or 0, where 1 represents a true and 0 represents a false. We can use the float data type to represent floating point values. Floating point values means a value with a fractional part, with a decimal part, that is called the float value. We can use the string data type to represent a collection of characters. For example, your name, your address. Okay, all these are title of the book, name of an institution. All these are collection of characters. So for that type of data, we can use the string data type. As you can see here, some type of values and their related data types. This value comes under int data type. This type of value, decimal value, comes under float data type. 423.0 int data type. Python language str string data type. 124 is less than 987. It will give a logical result, true or false, so it is bool data type. So in this way we can use we can have the concepts of data types during the programming activity. So my dear students, up to this in this part of the video. In the next part of the video we will understand the rest of the topics given in the chapter. Till then, stay home, stay safe, have a reading of the chapter by your own. In the next part of the video, I will explain you the rest of the topics. Thank you, students.